Companies Act, Section 378ZA, Annual General Meetings of a Producer Company. Annual General Meetings, AGMs, serve as a cornerstone of corporate governance and member participation in a producer company, providing a formal platform for decision-making, oversight, and accountability. Section 378ZA of the Companies Act, 2013, lays down the statutory requirements governing the conduct, timing, content, and procedural rules for AGMs. These provisions ensure transparency, inclusiveness, and the orderly functioning of producer companies. Below is a detailed breakdown of the section. 1. Obligation to hold annual general meetings every year. Every producer company is legally required to convene at least one general meeting in every calendar year, which shall be designated specifically as its annual general meeting, AGM. This is in addition to any other general or extraordinary meetings the company may hold. The notice calling such a meeting must clearly specify that it is the annual general meeting. Furthermore, no more than 15 months may elapse between the date of one AGM and the next. This ensures that the AGM is conducted regularly and in a timely manner. Extension by Registrar. The Registrar of Companies may, for special reasons, grant an extension of up to 3 months for holding any AGM other than the first AGM. However, such an extension must be justified and is subject to the discretion of the Registrar. 2. Timeline for the first annual general meeting. A producer company must hold its first AGM within 90 days from the date of its incorporation. This provision ensures that key corporate matters such as the adoption of governance documents and the appointment of the board of directors are not unduly delayed at the start of the company's life. 3. Key matters to be addressed in the AGM. During the first or subsequent AGMs, certain fundamental corporate actions must be undertaken by the members. The Articles of Association of the producer company are to be formally adopted. The members are required to appoint the directors who will constitute the board of the producer company. These steps are critical for establishing the governance structure and legal identity of the company. 4. Documents to accompany the notice of AGM. The notice convening the annual general meeting must be accompanied by a comprehensive set of documents, including but not limited to A. Agenda of the meeting. An outline of the items to be discussed and resolved during the AGM. B. Minutes of previous meetings. A copy of the minutes of the previous AGM, or if no AGM was held in the previous year, the minutes of the last extraordinary general meeting, EGM. C. Director election information. The list of candidates contesting for election to the board of directors. A statement of qualifications of each candidate must also be provided. D. Audited financial statements and board report. This includes the audited balance sheet and profit and loss account of the producer company and that of its subsidiary, if any. The board's report, covering the following matters. State of affairs of the producer company, amount proposed to be carried to reserve. Amount recommended as limited return on share capital, amount proposed to be distributed as patronage bonus. Material changes and commitments affecting the financial position of the company and its subsidiary, occurring after the financial year end but before the board's report. Significant matters concerning energy conservation, environmental protection, and foreign exchange earnings or expenses, or any other matter considered relevant by the board. E. Proposed auditor appointment. A draft resolution regarding the appointment or reappointment of auditors. F. Amendments to governing documents. If applicable, a draft resolution proposing any amendment to the memorandum or articles of association, along with the board's recommendation on the proposed change. 5. Requisitioned extraordinary general meetings. If 1/3 or more of the members who are entitled to vote submit a written requisition. The Board of Directors must convene an extraordinary general meeting, EGM, to consider the matters listed in the requisition. The requisition must be duly signed, clearly state the proposed agenda, and comply with the relevant provisions of Chapter 7 of the Companies Act. 6. Timing, day, and venue of AGM. To ensure accessibility and fairness, every AGM must adhere to the following rules. It must be convened during business hours, i.e., between 9 a.m. and 6 p.m. It cannot be held on a public holiday. The venue must be either the registered office of the producer company or some other place within the same city, town, or village where the registered office is located. 7. Minimum notice period. A producer company must give not less than 14 days written notice prior to holding an AGM. This notice must be circulated to every member of the company, the auditor of the company. The notice must clearly mention the date, time, and venue of the meeting. 8. Quorum for the AGM. The quorum for an AGM is essential to ensure sufficient member participation. Unless the articles of the company provide for a larger number, 1/4, a quarter, of the total number of members shall constitute the quorum. This provision is designed to strike a balance between operational efficiency and member representation in decision-making. 9. Filing requirements with the registrar. Within 60 days from the date of holding the AGM, the following must be filed with the Registrar of Companies, ROC. Proceedings of the AGM. The Board of Directors report. The audited financial statements, balance sheet and profit and loss account. The annual return. Applicable filing fees, as prescribed under the Companies Act and rules. This ensures regulatory compliance and transparency in the functioning of the producer company. 10. Representation of producer institutions. In cases where a producer company is formed by producer institutions rather than individual members, such institutions shall be represented in the AGM by either their chairman or chief executive officer, who shall be empowered to act on behalf of the institution. However, if a producer institution is found to be in default or non-compliance under clauses D, 2, F of subsection 1 of Section 378Q, such an institution shall not be allowed to participate or vote in the AGM. This clause ensures that only compliant and responsible institutions can influence the governance of the producer company. For more details, contact us.